The Hammer of Atmora is a heavy RP guild based out of Fallowstone Hall in the Rift. They are one of many companion crews of Skyrim during the time period, though one of the few to accept all brave warriors, no matter their race. The Harbingers and Captain's Guide, but no companion rules over any other. Equals in danger, equals in blood, equals in plunder. Fat, slow, and ripe for the grave. Cry gra-Ushann in her own words. The huntswife of gra-Ushann is indeed a harsh critic of herself, and in her late 50s she is certainly feeling the pinch of age. Behold her yourself, however, and you will witness a powerfully built orc, rarely seen out of ornate heavy armor, fashioned by her own hands. She stands with a sedate confidence, expressing herself through clipped speech and colorless, ambiguous smiles. Inherent to her is what the tribe's wise woman calls an earthly candor. Cry's rise to prominence within the Daggerfall Covenant occurred relatively recently, as a consequence of her short stint as general at Fort Rayless. In the biting winter of 582, she showed that she could command an army under extreme pressure. While other forts fell to Reachman invaders, hers persevered. Campaigns in other areas of Tamriel would follow. The Hoarfrost Company did much good work in Rivenspire, until finally she was summoned back to Hrothgar. The tribe she has helped build with her husband, Rosk Grogerok, is an emblem of this new, febrile age. Grolshrog, tribe of Orsinium, has no lands of its own, and it echoes King Kurog's assertion that Orsinium cannot survive if it remains saddled with its pariah status. Their city needs foreigners to make it whole. Srina, Talami Kwan, and Satri, a Bosmer, a Redguard, and a Dunmer respectively, are three friends of the tribe, and there are others who have been offered the status of Voshu, or Bloodkith. Garok, Rosk's father, would likely be appalled. But there are limits to Cry's willingness to embrace the future. Grolshrog still follows sections of the Code of Malakath, much to the chagrin of Trinimac worshippers. For an orc fond of the privacy of thought, of faith, and of home, Cry has been a magnet to a host of strangers turned friends. From fellow orcs such as Jalnu, Bleed, Lesh, and Naralk, to outlanders of different stock. Although she is hard to read at the best of times, one supposes she is rather happy to have them around. The character exercise from the previous episode was: what is your character's opinion on Orsinium? Does she or he approve of the orcs rebuilding their city, or think it's a bad idea? Dewey Bogard says, my Dunmer Uradas Othrin has two completely different opinions about the rebuilding. He doesn't care that much about the rebuilding of the city itself. Even as a scholar, his main focus has always been to become one of the strongest and wisest pyromancers to ever live. But on the other hand, he is with the Heralds of Aegea, which makes him excited to see the culture of the Orzamer in action. Dominator046 writes, Adalric is actually on the fence about this one. He has met with the Orcs of Malakath, whom have erected their strongholds in the bounds of Skyrim, but worked to the benefit of its people. He can respect them if only for their martial prowess and honorable participation in conflict. How does Adalric feel about Orsinium? If it's a people that are not on the side of the Brittany king, and who will not regularly pillage his countrymen, Adalric doesn't have a problem with them. Mevalent says, though Wraith has never left Morrowind, the news of Orsinium did reach him. He's very tempted to visit the place himself if he had the coin for such an adventure. But with his recent condition of becoming a fully fledged vampire, his chances are slim. The orcs rebuilding their city, however, he thinks could be both a blessing and a curse. A curse, in his opinion, for if the orcs succeeded in rebuilding their city, House Hlaalu would be trying to trade with them, and a blessing since any thieves would be able to make a fortune from the orcs and other adventurers who could afford going there. Thank you everyone who answered the character exercise this season, and a special thanks to everyone who helped make the Character Corner possible. Please consider supporting me on patreon.com/thehumanfloyd so I can continue creating roleplay videos in the future. Thanks for watching. Peace.